One of the things that experience teaches us is that we're always in the middle of the story. There's always a bit more, and it isn't over yet. Who knows how the meeting between the two Korean leaders will actually turn out, or the negotiations to leave the EU, whether you view those with despair or elation. And I dare say some members of the Windrush generation or some victims of left-wing anti-Semitism must be wondering if things can really turn out all right in the end. And personally too, you and I know that when we're down in the dumps, in despair or distress, one of the hardest things is to imagine that it could possibly get any better. There are, as it were, walls around us which we just don't think we can get over or see beyond. You lose your job and you wonder, can I pay my mortgage or my rent? Your partner walks out and you wonder, how am I going to cope? That business plan you've worked on for so long is dismissed out of hand as a load of old rubbish, or in even less generous terms. Or the business in which you've invested so much time and money goes under for lack of customers or funding or a change in markets. But as I say, experience teaches us that the next step, the next outcome is always open. We are always in the middle of the story. That was the experience of the children of Israel. They were just about persuaded by the great prophets Isaiah and Jeremiah that they would return to Jerusalem, their homeland, and now they are back in Jerusalem, as we heard this morning in Isaiah 60. They look around at the destruction, at the task of rebuilding, and they wonder whether it's going to be possible at all. How are we going to get this place, our holy city, back to how it used to be? But the prophet says, the third Isaiah says, you may be in darkness now, but the light is coming. There will be a new Jerusalem. And your children and your grandchildren are coming back. This is a wonderful vision. The dispersion is over. That should give you hope, should it not, says the prophet. So hope in the Lord, who will be your everlasting light, says the prophet with conviction. The death of Jesus spelt the death of the disciples' hopes. It was all over for them, and they knew despondency and heartache and despair, all their hopes in ruins, their friend taken from them. But then the sequence of the story changed in a way completely unexpected. The tomb where Jesus was buried was empty. Jesus wasn't there. And crucially, Jesus also made several appearances to his disciples, as we heard in the Gospel. Put those two things together, the empty tomb and the appearances of the risen Lord, and you see disciples now convinced that he was alive, that he cared for them as much as he ever did, and that he was now entrusting them with a mission to say just that Jesus is the living Lord, the Son of the living God, who loves us and who calls us and all the world to put our trust in him, to have the deep hope and assurance that things will turn out well in the end, and that the action of love must be the orientation of every human heart. This is the Easter faith, and we rejoice in it. Alleluia. Amen.